All right there, Showdown. Got your brand new Stryker 955 all derailed for you. Everything's done up on this thing. I got the echo board set perfectly for you on the inside, so you won't have to worry about, whether that's adjusted correctly or not. It's all heat shrunken down. It's not going to change and it'll be set perfect. We've got the full tune out done to it. We've got Hifi Transmit, and also we've got Hifi Recieve. The Hifi Recieve that's done, we've also got an upgraded filter to increase the high end along with the low end as well. We have, like I said, the upgraded echo board set perfectly internally. This knob no longer does anything on the face here. And then we've also got a switch for the VFO to cut it on and also cut it off. On the VFO is a long wind up, so you will have to pause for 1.5 to 2 seconds, or so before you can speak, for it to give it time to come on to frequency. You wanted a longer one, so that's what we gave you. Like I said, up is on, down is off. This right here is a switchable peak power for you. So basically, if you want to move down to 50 watts, all you got to do is flip a switch, flip back up, and then you're right back to the 100 watts output or so. We've also got MP3 with line level recording right back here. All you do is just plug in to the jack here and then plug into your cell phone, and it automatically sense line level into the receiver. You can play back through your phone. You can cut the phone volume down and speak over top of music, or however you want to do. You can make it what you want it. I've got you a modded D104. It's set perfectly for you. I've got it at 5 is where I prefer to set them all after they're modified, and then I build the parameters around the radio to mate with that microphone running at 5. I did leave you some headroom. You said you wanted this thing to be super loud and just banging out there, so I left you some headroom to be able to run with, like, different boxes, just in case your voice is a little light or whatever. I gave you a little headroom. So the perfect spot, in my opinion, and what I'll show, like whenever I do the plug into the line levels, around 1 o'clock or so. But like if you're if you holding a big mall out there, you key in 10,000 whatever, and so your audio starts to tighten up, you still got a little headroom to push it a little harder. But anyway, like I said, 1 o'clock's gonna be about the sweet spot right there for you. You might find with a bunch of power 12 o'clock works well. You might find if your voice is a little lighter, might be 2:30, but you got a little headroom to run it like you want to. But 1 o'clock is where I like here. And other than that, I want to make sure I had talked about everything. I've got you 2 of those modded D104s like you ordered, and I think that's all the options that we've got done. Should be everything. So we'll go ahead and demonstrate the output here. I'm on my dummy load, and we'll see what kind of power we're doing there. So we're on a 200 watt scale. We are modulating to just a touch above 100, call it 102 peak watts right there. We'll check I'm on a 25 watt slug. It's going to bury that. Let me take that out of there and put this 100 watt in here. Alright, so 100 watt slug here. We're modulating to a good 48 bird, thereabouts, somewhere in that direction. And like I said, 100 peak. My mic is right next to my headphone. That's what that little squeal you heard, because I've got my headphones hooked up to my monitor radio up here. Let's check out our spectral purity right here. Everything's looking good. Got our output there, looking good on our numbers up there. All right, let's check out. We seen that's 100 watts there, so let me cut the carrier down here. Like you'd be running, your 800 or whatever driver, pre-driver, whatever you put in line. Let's check out what we're dead keying there. If I can keep it away from my headphone. Key in 4 watts right there, and we'll see what it modulates here. I'm still modulating to 100 because I got my peak switch on. So flip that peak switch down from that 4 watt carrier, and we're modulating to 50 watts. So 50 watts on the money at 14.5 volts under load, and this might be a little friendly. It might be 14.3 under load. I rest at 14.7. Yeah, this says 14.9, so it's 0.2 of a volt high, what it's reading here. 14.3 is my loaded voltage, and that's at 50 watts PEP at 14.3 under load. And then if I flip my peak switch back up right here, we're going to be right back to our 100 watts output from that lower carrier. So it gives you a little bit of versatility running your different drivers and pre-drivers and whatnot. So let me cut this up. My gain's already in the correct place here. I'm going to leave my headphones in so I can kind of monitor what's going on there too. And I may like give an example of this peak because the people haven't got to really hear it over the air, like what it does, how it sounds. So let me plug in right here.
All right, I kind of got cords going everywhere. My monitor volume's a little high, so let me set my phone down here and back down that monitor volume a touch right there, and have everything where it needs to be. But right now, oh, I'm keying low. That's why it's a little hot. So basically, we're keying 4, swinging to 100. That's a lot of percentage of modulation, so I could take and roll this carrier up, and we'll smooth on out here. Hello, 1, 2, break it, break it. That carrier's in the proper place there, and you can see as well on the scope, the background noise is at a minimum right there with what we're working with. But anyway, that's from the higher carrier right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave everything just like it sets. I'm dead keying 20 watts or so on my output. With the variable all the way up, and I'm about 1 o'clock on the gain. So I'm just going to reach over here and flip this switch right here and let you hear it get tight. Hello, 1, 2. I flipped that switch. You can hear how my voice tightened up. It's not fully modulated, but the problem is we're keying 20 and only swinging to 50, so we're not, we're like 60% modulated. It's taking away our envelope growth. You have to have your modulation at the proper percentage. So I flip this switch back up when I'm keying up here at 20, and you'll hear the headroom come back in because you have enough range to modulate the carrier. All right, so what you do when you do flip this switch down, you cut your carrier down. I wish I had more hands. I apologize for this is going to be a real rough video, but let me cut my carrier down. I'm rolling it on down here, rolling it on down. You'll hear me get louder, and I'm going to flip the switch down now. And now down on the switch sounds good because we have enough envelope growth. You see, now we have enough to fully modulate. But anyway, all right, so now let's give one more example of the headroom. I'm going to roll this carrier back up again. And it's getting tight because the switch is down, and I'm like 60% modulated, so I'm going to flip it up. And you can hear my headroom come back. But now look at the headroom and the mic gain too. You could hear it's got a lot of gain. Of course, that'd be a little over modulated, but like I said, I left you a little extra headroom. There's back at about 3 o'clock there. There's 11:30. I didn't mean to go back at 4, but and then here is back to the 1 o'clock position. But anyway, like I timed out. I think I guess I keyed for 3 minutes, but anyway, whatever. You see the signal on the spectrum analyzer. We can still see our output. Hola, hola. See, everything's still looking good. We still got everything we need.
From there, I'm sorry for such a long video, but I did want to at least make an example of how this peak control works. It's not a variable this time, it's just on a flip switch. But anyway, up and high is 100 watts, down is 50 watts. So that'll allow you to have the versatility real quick by the flip of a switch to run into your different drivers and pre-drivers and everything to work with. The only example I wanted to make is if you leave your carrier all the way up and you're keying 20 and you flip this down to only go to 50, you don't have enough envelope growth there, because 20 to 40 is only going to give you 50%, and then another half again. So you're not able to develop the proper percentage of modulation from your carrier, so it's going to sound tight. So anytime you do flip to that 50, you have to make sure that you cut this carrier down. But likely, whenever you needing 50 watts peak, you're going to probably be dropping on down to like a, you know, a 2 watt carrier or so. And then you're going to be on the low side, and then that 40-50 watts is going to be going into that 4CX 800 amplifier, and then into whatever else you're running into, you know, in line. But there we go. I guess it's a rough video. I know I'm shaking all over the place. I'm trying to hold one hand and trying to let y'all hear what's going on. But that was a handheld D104 with a Stryker 955. A little extra headroom because he wanted that extra headroom to have a little bit more control instead of just have it maxed out all the time. But anyway, y'all take care. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope it comes out okay. Showdown in the islands. Enjoy your radio.